Hi there, welcome to today's 30-minute yoga class. Today is another one of the astrology yoga series, and today's archetype is Sagittarius. Of course, this yoga class can be done by anybody, no matter if they're Sagittarius or not. How this class is sort of oriented is around some of the main themes, around the main strengths, and the main challenges that the archetype of Sagittarius is working with in this lifetime. For example, Sagittarius is a fire sign. So this yoga class is going to be quite an active yoga class. We're going to be doing lots of movements because we're going to stroke that fire that comes naturally to the sign of Sagittarius. Another need that the archetype of Sagittarius has in this lifetime is to always be exploring, to always be trying new things. And how we're going to do that in this yoga class is literally providing Sagittarius a whole new way of looking at the world. We're going to be going into headstand at the end of the class. And I think what headstand can be nice for in terms of the Sagittarius archetype is that it provides that challenge that Sagittarius is looking for. But at the same time, it requires a lot of focus, a lot of strength, determination, channeling your energy into one thing, and keeping your mind open to new experiences. These are things that perhaps can become a little bit difficult to the archetype of Sagittarius. All right, that's enough talking. Make sure that you have a space where you feel comfortable and that you either have a yoga strap, or if you don't have a yoga strap, you can go ahead and grab an old towel or an old t-shirt. You basically want something that you can grab an arm distance apart from each other for one of the yoga poses in this class. So to start out, let's actually come down to our mat. Sit in whatever way feels comfortable for you. We're going to start working into our wrists here. Go ahead and bring the backs of your hands to the mat, fingers facing towards you. You should feel a really nice stretch here through your forearms. Great, pick up your hands. This time, turn the flesh side of your wrists away from you, fingers pointing towards you, palms on the mat. I like to rock back and forth. Some people like to go forward and back here. You should be feeling a nice stretch through your forearms. Great, gently peel them off the mat. Let's go ahead and do some wrist circles. Going in one direction and then the other. Great, and finally our last wrist warm up. Bring your hands up towards the sky, palms facing forward. Fingers spread wide. Let's go ahead and start opening and closing our fingertips as fast as we can. This is such a dreaded part of wrist and forearm warm-up for me. It does not feel good. But I know that it's definitely needed because my forearms never really get that much work or used for anything that much actually. As fast as possible, let's go. We're gonna do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, just let the blood slowly come back to your forearms and fingers. We're going into our tabletop here, coming onto our hands and our knees. Shoulders on top of hands, hips on tops of knees. Pick up your right hand, open up to the right side, twist. And go ahead and lower the right hand. Twist to the left side, left hand up towards the sky. And go ahead and lower. Let's do one more on each side. Right hand towards the sky. And lower. And left hand towards the sky. And lower. This time, pick up your right hand up towards the sky. And instead of lowering it, thread it behind and through your left arm, lowering your right shoulder onto the ground. Feel this opening through your shoulder, your right shoulder. Gently push into the left arm to bring yourself up. And both hands come on the mat. Let's do the left side. Left arm towards the sky. Thread the hand behind the right arm, and lower the left shoulder onto the ground. Your head is also resting on the mat here. Push into the right paw and bring yourself up back to tabletop. We're going to work a little bit on our core here because headstand does require quite a big activation in our core. Go ahead and tuck your toes and lift your knees just a millimeter off of the mat. Now, if this wasn't hard enough, we're going to add something. We're going to go ahead and practice pulling our shoulders away from our ears while we are in this pose. So go ahead and protract, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then let them go. Protract, pull away from the ears, and let them go to normal. Protract, pull away from the ears, and let them go. Keep going here. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine. And gently lower the knees back down. Go ahead and grab your strap, your t-shirt, your towel, whatever you grabbed at this time. Doesn't matter how you sit here, just be comfortable. Make sure you have enough space in front of you and behind you for this exercise. The shoulders are super important in headstand. Not only do we need to pull the shoulders away, like we just practiced, away from the ears, but we also just need to make sure that we're actually quite open through our chest so that we can come into that straight line in headstand. So this exercise will really help with that. We're going to floss through the shoulders, so come to grab your strap. It's better to start out wider with your arms. Pull it up over your head and then all the way back down. I just want to make sure I don't knock my candle out. And then come back up. Here, make sure that your ribs are staying knitted into your spine, into your belly button. We want the movement to come through our shoulder blades and not through our spine. If this is too easy and you have some more space, go ahead and make that distance between your arms shorter. And then keep flossing. Slower is a little bit better here than going fast. It's not about speed with this exercise. And try to notice if both of your arms are doing the same work at the same time. Sometimes you see this, like one arm overtakes the movement. You want to try as much as you can to have both arms doing the same at the same time. Great, let's just spend maybe 30 more seconds in this movement. Ooh, my shoulders are really tight today. Great, let's go ahead and put the strap to the side. We will not need it anymore. Let's come back into our bear, into our tabletop, picking up our knees off of the mat. Just to sort of activate the core one more time. And let's see if our shoulder protections are a little bit easier this time. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck your toes and lift your knees off of the ground. Let's go ahead and do our shoulder protections. So pull the shoulders away from the ears and let them go. Away from the ears and let them go. Away and let go. Away and let go. Great. Lower the knees back onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Take your hands this time and bring them forward, way in front of you. I like to tend my fingertips here. And go ahead and keeping your hips above your knees, pull your chest down towards the mat. And the trick here is we're not getting the stretch through our spine. So we're not going like this, flaring our bum towards the sky. We're keeping the lower back straight. And we're making sure that our stretch through the chest comes actually from the chest and the shoulder blades. So not this, but this. Great. Gently start to peel your chest away from the ground. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Let's go ahead and pull back into downward facing dog. Maybe start to pull one heel towards the ground and the other one bend through the knee. Just to start to open up those hamstrings. Look forward in front of the mat and gently bring your feet next to your hands. Inhale, rise up, flat back. And exhale, bend forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, stack the shoulders on top of the hips. And exhale, bring your hands beside your body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend over. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins. Exhale, plant your hands and step both feet back into plank. We're going to stay here. Remember, we said the core is really essential in headstand. So let's go ahead and wake our core up. Here, make sure the belly button's pressing in towards the spine. You're on one flat line, not down here, not up here. Bring your attention to your shoulders here. Are they up towards the ears or are they pulling back? We want them pulling back. Great. Go ahead and push your hips back into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Look forward, bend into your knees, and gently bring your feet towards your hands. Inhale, rise up. Top of the head is pressing towards the front of the room. Exhale, bend forward over your legs. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands next to your body. With the next inhale, we're going to go ahead and practice what it's like being in headstand, but this time we're standing the right way up. So the trick in a headstand is the tailbone is tucked. We're not flaring out like this. So tuck your tailbone, belly button in towards the spine. Hands come into our fingers come knitted together. We're tucking our chin here. We're bringing the forearms up towards the sky. Imagine this here is the floor. So we're pushing our head up towards the ceiling, forearms up towards the ceiling. What happened to your tailbone and to your belly button? Shoulder blades, pull them away from the ears. Top of the head and forearms pushing up towards the sky. Your elbows are working in towards each other. Great. Exhale, fold over. So as you can see, even doing a headstand the right way up is actually a lot of work. There's a lot of squeezing and holding that's happening. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into the plank pose. Let's hold it. You're gonna love me by the end of this class. Belly button in towards the spine, tuck the tailbone, push the mat away. Shoulder blades, are they protracting away from the ears? Keep breathing here. Great, and go ahead and push back into downward facing dog. Look forward, bend through the knees, and gently bring your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bend over. Inhale, rise all the way up. Come into your standing headstand. Tuck the tailbone, belly button in, top of the head, forearms pushing up towards the sky. Shoulder blades away from the ears. Elbows pulling in towards each other. Great. And exhale. Hands next to your body. Let's go ahead and do one more. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bend over your legs. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, hands plant. Come into the plank pose. I promise this is the last time we're holding it. You can do it. Push the mat away. What are your shoulder blades doing? Great. Push back to downward facing dog. I'm going to come into our dolphin pose here, which is basically a downward facing dog, but we have our forearms on the ground instead of our palms. Go ahead and lower one forearm and then the other. Palms and forearms are actively pressing into the mat. And try to pull your chest towards your legs. Keep breathing here. What are your shoulder blades doing? Here it's really easy to let them fall towards the ears. But remember what we practiced. Go ahead and lower the knees. And just come to a seat. I'm going to do the headstand demo now. Just to walk you through the steps so that you're aware of the different progressions. You do not need to come into headstand today if that's not what you do. So I'll offer you a couple of spots where you can stop along the way. So the way we start, actually one thing I like to do is Get rid of anything I have in my hair around the base or the top. Because for obvious reasons, we're gonna be on the top of our head, and here I rest, I make sure my arms are there. Interlace your fingers. Start by planting them down onto the mat. And the elbows, you want them not to be too far out, not to be too close in. Usually about shoulder distance apart is good. Actively push this forearm and the palms into the mat. So one thing you can do here is literally just start by placing your head down onto the mat. And you can stay here if that's all that feels good for you today. What you can also do is start to pick up your knees, actually transferring more weight into the forearms and the head. Maybe you start the next place if you feel like you're ready for more. You start to walk your feet closer. You will start to feel that there's more weight into your head and forearms. And if you feel ready for the next step, you can go ahead and practice lifting one foot off of the ground. If you feel like you need more, begin lifting so that both feet come off the ground. You can do little jumps like that. And eventually when you come into your headstand, you can do both feet tucked in. That's the next step. And finally, you can go ahead and start to pull both feet up towards the sky. Let's go ahead and do that. Go only as far as you feel comfortable. And when you're finished with your headstand, gently bring your knees down. Unhook your hands and start to roll through your head, bringing your front of your skull, your forehead, and your nose back down. And this is to ensure that we gently release the pressure from the shoulders and the neck. And you might feel here that your upper back is on fire. Mine definitely is. Great. Gently come back to a seat. One thing that I don't want to say is a secret for headstand, but it definitely does make a difference, is just practice. I know everybody says it, and maybe it's a little bit not something you want to hear. But honestly, just doing it every day, doing a little bit every day, and continually trying, your chest, your shoulders, your core will get used to that pressure, to that strength, to that activation that is needed. Go ahead and lower yourself all the way onto your belly. Bring your forearms and the palms of your fingers onto the mat. Bring the shoulder blades down your back. Imagine here in this cobra pose that you're pulling the chest forward. Just notice here. You're burning back. But also the nice stretch through the front of the body. We're going to close the class today with a belly down Shavasana. If this doesn't feel nice for you, feel free to flip on your back and just do a regular Shavasana. I think letting our upper back be open here could feel really nice after the headstand. And I find that personally, a belly down Shavasana just lets me relax way deeper than when I'm on my back. And after doing hard work like the headstand, I need the rest. I deserve the rest, and so do you. Just allow yourself to relax here. I will come back and let you know when it's time to wrap up the class. Gently start to bring movement into your fingers and toes.
Maybe even bringing movement into your wrists and your ankles. Gently roll over to one side. Use your top hand to press yourself up.
Whew, that was a really nice rest after some, I don't want to say hard work, but after some good work. I wanted to thank you for joining me today. As always, this is a class that you can keep repeating every day. Doesn't matter if you're a Sagittarius or not. And like I shared previously, the secret with Headstand is just to keep showing up every day. If it doesn't feel comfortable for you to come up into a headstand in the middle of the room like we did here today, you can always practice with a wall in front of you. So that way you know for sure you're not going to tip over. The wall is always going to be there to stop you. The amazing thing I remember when I came into my first headstand ever up against the wall was how weird and strange it felt. It was like everything looked completely different and upside down, which was quite invigorating, quite scary, and quite like, whoa, what's happening? So don't forget, if you ever face things in your life that are like that are scary, that are out of the ordinary, that you're like, what is happening? The whole world is turned on its head. That you have the power and the strength to do it. All right, enough sappiness from me for today. Thanks for joining me again, and I hope to see you again soon.